today I'm doing a stealth camping that will be out kind of similar to my very first video. It's going to be out kind of by the river area. I was going to do a different place today. However, due to the weather looking like it might be kind of rainy, I decided to pick a spot that might be a little bit closer to home instead. So, you know, just in case, because I mean, I am camping in the cheapest tent that I can pretty much get on Amazon. And I don't know how that's going to hold up in rain. We're going to find out if it does rain. So it's a little bit more of a risky area because, for one, it is kind of behind a closed gate, and it is a spot that I haven't been to. A lot of unknowns going into this, which is great, I guess. Who knows what's going to happen? I mean, a few things I can think of right now is there's a little spot that I'm going to be coming up to where the road will end, and there might be people. Sometimes I've been riding my bike out there, and people sometimes have been out there just parked and sometimes shooting guns. Cool, great, that's exactly what I want. Or there could just be something out there with people working in orchards, because just as I was starting to film over here, there was somebody spraying and working. Now that the trees are starting to bloom and whatnot back here, there's going to be more activity out in these areas. We're going to find out. We're going to see. I'm taking a different road today to get out to my spot. This is kind of a side road that I found that will lead up to the main road that I'm going up to. So I'm now on a dirt path going down here. Doesn't look like there's anything stopping me from up here. So that's cool. I'm about 6 or 7 miles, I think, from the spot that I'm at, which is 12 miles total to get to where I've indicated. And again, it's kind of an unknown for me. I just kind of picked this spot on Google Earth and it looked like a nice stealth camping area. So we're just going to kind of wing it and see what happens. Just wanted to point out, I found this really cool sitting log here. Other than that, there we go. Hopefully there's nothing living in here. Well, I've already found I hit disaster number 1. So I got this little 3D printed thing on Etsy here for kind of a pedal stand. It works a lot better for where I go, where it might be kind of dirty or maybe even a little bit muddy or grassy or something like that. However, it appears to be broken. That's what it looks like now that I got her off. I don't know, I might be able to glue that back in there into place, but I'm not sure how sturdy that's going to be. I mean, it looks like it more of just kind of tore itself to pieces there. So, I mean, all it is just a 3D printed little thing. Again, there was a nice idea, but maybe the weight load that I'm carrying is just maybe a bit too much for something like this. Seem to have hit a gate. I did not expect a gate, but a gate is here. The way that I'm going is actually up this road here, and then I'm going that way and then getting to a main road. My plan is just to go for it, and nobody hopefully will come down this road and really care. All right. So right now I'm just past that gate and off the gravel road heading towards the main road that I'm trying to get to, Wilson Landing, I guess it is. So it's up that way, maybe like half a mile or so, something like that. Well, I got a truck here. Let's see what they say. Okay, well that's a good sign. That truck just passed by and waved at me and didn't seem to stop, so even though I'm pretty sure he knows I'm not supposed to be out on this road, he says no trespassing and probably has no idea who I am. he didn't seem to be concerned. Let's say I looked out there. I honestly was fully expecting that person to stop and, you know, say something. Either say like, why are you here? Or, you know, you're not supposed to be on this road. It's private property. And just for the record, let me go up to that area I just came from. Here's the sign from this side showing that it's no trespassing. This road ends real soon here. There's a little bit of a ridge up here. It goes to a dirt road. And my hope is that there's not going to be anyone down here. Because sometimes people just come down here for various reasons. As I said earlier, I know that I've ride my bike down this road before, and I've heard people shooting guns out here and stuff. So people just come out here to get away from other people and do things and throw trash out here and various stuff. So I'm really hoping there's no one out in this area that I'm going up to. Well, great. I just looked over there and it looks like there's a car over there. So I don't really want to go into the area that I'm at with a car sitting there. Because basically what I'm doing is I'm going just past this orchard over here. There's going to be an area that I want to go into that will lead to that road that I want to go down. And again, it's like a no trespassing road. I shouldn't be necessarily be out here on it. Oh, wait. I think that car's going. All right, hold on. Well, good. It looks like that car that was there took off and they're speeding down the road. I'm gonna continue where I'm going. Maybe I was the one who actually spooked them. Maybe I came up and they saw a person on a bike and they were like, uh-oh, I had better time to leave, because you never know what they were up to out here. All right, let's go. Coming up, this is where the road pavement ends. We head down here. I just wanted to show you, that's where I came from, just over that ridge. Parked out here. This is right around where that car that I just saw was. And here's what I'm talking about. Up here, you can definitely see that somebody has been blasting stuff with a shotgun out here. And I've seen like pistol rounds out here, 9mm, things like that. I'm not, you know, they're probably doing stuff just coming out here for a place to shoot just for fun. I just found this thing left here. It says live ammo. That's interesting. These are just unused shotgun rounds, 12 gauge. I actually have a 12 gauge at home that I just have just for home security basically. But I'm gonna leave them out here. Maybe this is area, you know, it might be good for like duck hunting and stuff like that. And they're leaving it out there for people who are hopefully have license and everything like that to do duck hunting. And a lot of people just kind of bring their junk out here. Now, I don't have a problem with people coming out and shooting stuff or whatever like that. The downside to all this, of course, is like they're leaving their trash, you know, they're leaving their boxes of 9mm rounds, junk out here, you know, leaving cans, leaving all these shotgun shells and things like that, not actually cleaning it up. I mean, if you're going to come out here and like do this stuff, you should just clean it up if you're going to be doing this. All right, time to keep going here. Let's see, what's the best way to get in here? I think this is the nice thing for having a bike like this, is very small profile. As long as I don't hit my pedals on stuff, I can just kind of swing around here. I just wanted to point out this massive tree there. It looks like it fell over here. You can see how it kind of fell over and hit those walnut trees over there. Luckily for them, they didn't hit this pole over here. And, you know, I would imagine it probably would have torn that power down up there. So maybe that was repaired at some point. You know, here's the root system to it. Looks like it's got a bunch of piping and stuff going around it here, interesting enough. Also, you can see a bunch of these old pipes laid out here. Most of the time now, you'll see them use kind of built into the ground piping. So this kind of stuff is basically obsolete at this point. I mean, you can look at this and see that this has definitely been sitting here for a very long time, it looks like. And this isn't the only one. I mean, there's other stacks over there as well. Apparently somebody wanted to come out here and have a bottle of Fireball with them, so good on them. Got a couple different directions to go from where I'm at right now. So there's this way, there was that big tree I just filmed over here a little bit, a little road that goes that way. I'm not really sure what's down there, but the direction that I'm actually heading in is going to be off to the left over here. So that's where I'll keep moving towards. All right, I think we're here. So I had an area marked out on Google Earth, kind of picked from what I can see with the overhead, where there's a road, and it went out to an area that was in the open, and then that would lead to kind of where the river is, off to kind of the back corner back that way. This looks like it's it. Yeah, here's what it looks like. So the idea is to camp somewhere out in that region out there, kind of hide myself in the bushes back there, and yeah, hopefully not get spotted by anyone. As you just saw me riding down this road here, it doesn't look like there's too many people out here, and you know, or nobody rather, other than that one car I saw back there earlier. Starting to lose my road here, starting to get a little bit bumpy. Bumpy and weedy. All right, these weeds are really gonna start getting tall here, so I'm gonna drop my bike into a gear that's easier to ride through this. A lot of foxtails, but they're green, so they shouldn't be like getting in me or anything. It's a little tall, but I'm able to manage. Oop, it looks like I might have lost a thing for a strap back here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, I don't want that. I mean, the strap is still holding, but it looks like my little thing that I had on here for the little Velcro, maybe that must have fallen off. I keep some spare in here. Shouldn't be an issue. All I'm going to do for now is just kind of tie this up and get it out of the way so it's not dragging. Well, that might let go immediately, but that's my solution for now. I just kind of tied it into a bit of a knot, and that should hold it in place. All right, well, I'm going to keep going. There's some brushy stuff kind of right here. I'm going to see if there's a spot over there that might look good for setting up camp. Of course, getting through the brush here is the fun part. Some of this stuff is about up to my knees or so. So the thing I'm worried about the most with this is hitting like a pothole and flinging myself off my bike. Hopefully I don't do that. So I'm going to try to be cautious. Almost looks like there's a trail here. So I'm going to follow said almost trail. All right, more tall weeds. I'm just going to power through them. Bike handles off-road pretty decently. Yeah, like up here looks like there's a bit of a dip, so I'm going to be a little bit more careful here that I don't just fling myself off the bike. I don't know how far down that goes. Okay. Oh, made it, but the bike's struggling right now. Oh, this stuff is really tall back here. Yeah, I am standing in weeds that are about, you know, above my knee, basically, right now. These are tall. All right, well, I'm in an area. Let's see if I can find a better spot. I was kind of hoping I can get back behind these, what looks like a bamboo kind of thing here, but I'm not totally sure. I did not expect these weeds to be as tall as they are. Let's see if I can get a little bit closer over here. Maybe near these trees, or maybe like this area here. You know, if I can find an area that has a little bit more of an opening, that would be nice. You know, somewhat right around here might be good. There's really no way I think anyone's going to spot me back here. Yeah, like maybe somewhere right around here. See how this kind of almost looks like a trail? I think this is going to be my spot, because everywhere else around here looks like it's got taller weeds. So, looks to be as good a spot as any, in my opinion. Alright, before I turn the bike off here, I just wanted to show that this is sitting at 12.7 miles from my home, where I rode out here. I'm going to go ahead and turn the bike off. And I have my tarp here. I think this is going to be the spot where I'm going to set up my tent, is right there. And I'll just show you real quick what it looks like out here. And I'll post up the Google Earth view of this area, but it is, I mean, it's very isolated. There's no houses, there's nothing near this place, so I don't see that anyone's going to come out here. Well, there's camp set up in its most basic form that I can get right now. I'm going to do what I can to get some firewood as quickly as possible. Maybe I'm just going to use some stuff that I could find back here. Like there's this big old branch here. I can use some stuff, some dead stuff over here. Get some good starting wood here. And I would like to get a little basic fire going here as soon as I can. All right, next thing you do is to start doing some firewood chopping. I'm going to start with this branch over here. See if I can get some stuff off of that and get a little fire area set up here as soon as I can. Well, we'll see what happens here. I got some matches here, and I got a terrible looking little fire there, but I'm hoping that that will start with what it is. No rocks around here at all. I actually wanted to set up a little rock pile around it, but I can't find any rocks at all to do that. And I don't even have like a good pokey stick yet, so I'm not doing everything right here by any means, but I'm doing what I can, you know, given the amount of daylight I have left, which is minimal at best. All right, here goes nothing. We'll see if I can get some kind of fire started with this. My box is kind of falling apart. That's okay though. I learned my lesson from last time. I think I started this too far back and I ended up breaking my match. So I'm going to do this and risk the fire hitting my hand, but it shouldn't. There we go. All right, get the fire to go a little bit. I got some paper on this side. I'm going to light. The fire's doing good. So I got it here. I've been watching it to make sure it doesn't start any brush or anything, you know, on fire out here, but it looks like it's behaving itself. Well, the fire's still doing really good here. Burning through my wood pretty quick, so I can already see that I'm going to have to be up and grabbing some stuff from the stockpile I was talking about earlier back here, you know, basically just pulling from this dead branch. So about to have a Dr. Pepper here that I'll open, but I figured this is a good time to just let the camera sit and show the fire for a bit while I do some talking. I'm hearing some coyotes or something out there. So anyway, so kind of the purpose of my channel, I haven't talked about that as of yet, is that I do primarily stealth camping, and I'm going to be going out to any spots that I can find. The only thing is that I do it with using my bike instead of, driving over to a spot and walking over or hiking over or backpacking or anything that you might see that people normally are doing. And I don't think I'd be doing stealth camping in like traffic circles or urban kind of stuff necessarily. At least not as of yet. Because, like I said, my whole plan is to pick out a spot that looks good, get on my bike and ride out to it, get to places like this that are secluded enough that it works as a good stealth camping spot, just set up camp for the night. So that's the current plan with my channel that I want to continue going for. As of right now, I have something like around 25 to 30 spots potentially mapped out from using Google Earth that are somewhat close to me. The plan is to do some of these easier ones first, like this one and the very first video that I ever did. They were very close to my home, easy to get to. But spots like that I have coming up are going to get a bit more challenging over time and a bit more risky and whatnot. Hopefully it will be more entertaining later on. And then by that point, I'm hoping that I'll be a lot better with my filming. I'll have an idea of how I want to come out and film these videos, how I want to present myself, and overall, the quality will just be a lot better. That's what I'm hoping for. So another thing I'll talk about here is just probably in these first couple of videos that I've done, I might seem kind of paranoid with seeing people around. Oh no, there's a truck out there. What are they going to do? Well, of course I kind of am, because again, I'm going into spots where I'm not necessarily supposed to be going to. Like technically right now, it'd be considered trespassing, though I'm not on anyone's property as far as I can tell. I'm kind of in, I don't know what you'd call it. Let's just call it kind of a neutral zone here, where it's surrounded by properties, but it's in an area that really doesn't look like it's owned and managed by anybody. So I want to do stuff kind of like that. I have a few other plans for videos I want to do later on. But getting back to the whole paranoia thing, last week I was out just going for a bike ride. Nothing really interesting. I didn't take my camera. I didn't do any kind of footage. Nothing like that. I was just doing a bike ride out in an area that I've only been to once. Yes, I am kind of looking for spots for doing stealth camping, but I wasn't going behind any gates. I wasn't doing anything that I would consider suspicious. It was just more like riding my bike, enjoying myself, staying on the main roadways, and just doing what I should be doing, basically. And I went down to a little area where there's a few houses. This is in a very secluded area as well. And then on my way back, I was kind of coming out of that area, working my way back towards my car, because I drove out there and put my bike into my car and unloaded it from the car, rode out for about, I'd say 15 miles, and then rode back to my car to go home. So on my way back, I was about 13 miles away from my car, getting back to my ride, and I get stopped by sheriff. They basically come up next to me and they're like, "Hey, we need to talk to you real quick." So they pull over. No big deal or anything. The thing is, they got a call just from some random person that saw me riding out there and decided to call it in as a suspicious person, basically. So that was interesting to have that happen. Completely unexpected. Again, I wasn't doing anything wrong out there, but that's where the whole thing is, that like people are watching all the time. So that's where I've got to be cautious with these stealth camping as much as I possibly can. But still, it was a little concerning for me, to suddenly have the sheriff coming up next to me saying, "Hey, we need to talk to you real quick." And they didn't really question me or anything. They didn't ask a bunch of stuff. They looked at me, checked my ID. I told them, "Hey, I'm just out for a bike ride, just enjoying myself." And they were like, "Oh yeah, good. Yeah, you look fine. You don't look like you're up to any trouble or anything. So cool, you're on your way." So that's just what I got to be cautious for, is stuff like that, basically. All right, I realize I'm going to need my little things here for propping up my chair because it's sinking pretty well into the ground here. So as you can see there, yeah, I should have just put those down in the first place. So that's the whole reason I brought these things. The idea is I could put one under each area where the chair is going to sit, like this, something like that, and something like, if I can get to the back one, is buried under weeds now, something like that. Make sure they're as centered as they can be. So there we go. Yeah, there you go. The idea is to have those down there. That way, you know, it doesn't sink into the ground so much. So we'll see how this works. It's kind of a new idea that I've had. I did show them a little bit in my first video, and I did use them, but they weren't as necessary for that spot. But for this area, I do need them. Just wanted to show here real quick. Here's the game. I just bought this recently, so an actual cartridge of it, but this is a modded 3DS. Androdunos 2. Well, it is almost 11 o'clock now, and I could definitely say I'm getting tired now. So the fire is just about out. So I'll probably hang out a little bit longer for the fire to go out. I'll leave my chair out and my cooler over here. My phone does say that there's a possibility of some light rain. So what I did is I just took my larger black bag and covered the tarp, you know, over the top of that. Hopefully that will help. Bike is just going to sit out here and, you know, expose the elements out here tonight. I did cover my screen up here just so it's not getting water on it if it does rain. You know, the seat, stuff like that can be wiped down if needed. It should be okay. I mean, I've rode my bike in the rain before, so it is what it is with that. Real quick here, let's check the temperature. Temperature says about 42, it looks like. Hard to see. There we go. Yeah, 42.8 on that. It's a little chilly. I actually did not expect it to be as cold as it was now, and after my last camping thing that I did, so I ended up getting this lighter blanket. I probably regret that now because I did have a better sleeping bag for colder nights. But getting closer to the summer, I actually swapped it out for this one because I thought the colder weather was going to be over. However, here I am, so I might be a little cold tonight. We'll see, but I'll make the best of it. Here's my blanket. This is it. It's real thin. So that's all I got. I mean, I honestly got this more for the summer. So this was a bad idea to use this now. Oh well. And I doubled up kind of with a beach towel because it's what I have. So between this thin blanket, this thin beach towel, these very thin, cheap tent walls, and my hoodie, hopefully I'll be warm enough tonight to at least make it through. I mean, it won't be down to absolute freezing. At this point in the year, it's not going to get down to like the 30s or 20s or anything that cold, luckily. But I'll still be a little bit chilly. It'll be fine though. All right. Good night. Ugh, if I can turn this thing off. There we go. Last night wasn't too bad at all, actually. I slept through the night pretty well. Only had to get up once. The one time that I did get up, I was finding that my feet were really cold. That's really the only thing that I was actually having any kind of problem with. So I ended up using these hand warmers, and they helped considerably for, warming my feet up. So lesson learned. Next time, if it's a little cold, bring my sleeping bag instead of a little blanket. I should have swapped those out, but I didn't. But it really was not that bad at all. So today it's looking cloudy. It's overcast now more than it was yesterday. But no rain last night, so that's good for me. There might be some rain today, but I'll be out of here well before that comes in. What you're looking at right now is some drone footage that I took. This video is the first time I've used this drone out on a camping site, and as of the time that I recorded this, I only had this for about a week, having this drone. So it was still new to me. The whole process of using it was something that I was just testing and just learning how it worked. So the purpose of having a drone for me, there's a couple of reasons. One is to capture footage like what you're looking at right now. I want to get some footage showing, overhead views of the sites that I'm at, and maybe a little bit of my ride along the way. Hopefully to give, a little bit interesting quality to the videos that I have. So that's purpose number one. Purpose number two for this drone is, since I am doing stealth camping with these, the idea is that I can send this up, I can have it kind of be my scout, and it will look around. I can use it to view the area and see if I can see anything out there, maybe like cars, maybe like people, whatever it might be that I might not otherwise see from ground level, I might not see or even hear. So the thing is about this video, you're going to see something real interesting here that I did not even catch during the time of filming this, because I was just learning how this works. And you're going to see it here real quick coming up in just a moment. So I got this overhead shot looking up over here, pan to the left, looking into this field. Do you see anything out there yet? Just give it a moment. Just keep looking. So here we go. So how about right now? So if we stop right there, you can see there are two people walking in this field real close to my campsite. And again, I had no idea that they were out there. So it was really interesting to me to come back and watch this footage and to see these two people walking. To me, it looks like they're hunters out hunting in this area, but I had no idea there were people out here. So this is a good thing for me to have and use. Apparently it came in handy here. I mean, it's totally possible those people could have walked my direction and gone right by my camp, and they would have, been right there. Now, they're not probably up to anything bad. Obviously, they're just out there hunting. Maybe they're duck hunting, something like that. I'm not sure what they're doing. So they probably would have been cool, I'm sure. But you can see they were really close to my campsite. I had no idea. And they had no idea I was here either. And you can tell from the way that they were walking, they didn't see my drone or hear it at all, which is good as well. I got something that if I put it up high enough, it would be almost impossible for somebody to see it unless they're really looking. So this thing's going to come in really handy for me on my upcoming stealth adventures, and I plan on using it a lot more. I guess the only thing I have to be observant for is to actually be looking at it. I was at this point, again, just learning how it works, and I was more worried about, one, not crashing into anything, and two, just lining up some shots and basically just flying it and getting familiar with how it works. I had no idea, though, that I was actually going to catch some people out there that I had no idea otherwise were there. So that was really interesting to me to see that, and I wanted to share it with you. And one more final look now that everything is packed up. I got my bike once again all set up to go here. The drone I ended up putting on here like this, so I wasn't sure what to do. I just had this clip and run it through there. I don't think it's getting too beat up by bouncing on this. Kind of the best I can come up with for now. I might change that up later on, but for now it's working. This was the other strap that came loose, so I got another Velcro tie on there, holding that in place. Hopefully that one will hold. This one's holding here. This is cinched down really good. All right, time to go. Hopefully getting out of here will be just as easy as it was getting in. As in, I'll be going through some tall weeds here. I'll just trace back my same path that I came through, and it should be slightly better. hopefully. That area yesterday that was really weedy, so I'm just plowing my way through this best I can, and the bike doesn't like it too much. At this point I'm pretty much just using the throttle to get me forward because I can't really pedal. As soon as I put my foot down, I'm hitting a bunch of weeds. Is that dip, down the dip, up the other hill here. All right, I'm gonna actually go off the path a little bit and go this way. Show you one last time here. That's where I came from over there, and now I'm back on this trail that's leading along the edge of this walnut orchard here. So the hope now is that I can get out of here, hopefully without being spotted or without anyone who might see me really caring. I mean, what's done is done at this point, so I've already came in here and did my camping, so that part, the main goal was done. So if I do get out to that main road and there's somebody over there, I'm not totally sure if I want to just go out past them, or what I was going to do yesterday, I was actually going to go around. So you might have noticed when I saw that black car that I veered off into the orchard. My plan at that point was just to look for like an alternate route, kind of cutting through the orchard without being too invasive, you know, getting through it, but cutting through the orchard and then coming back around. That was going to be my plan, but luckily that person that was over there ended up leaving, you know, pretty much immediately the moment that I was there. So if there is someone there, I guess it just kind of depends. I mean, if they're just there hanging out, that's okay. But like I was saying yesterday, if I'm hearing like gunshots or something and people are firing guns out there, I probably would rather not go through that area. But if they were shooting, if somebody was shooting there right now, I feel like I would already be hearing it. The sound would travel to where I'm at now. It's close enough that I would at least notice it. But, you know, that's not saying within the next, like, what it might be, 15 minutes or so that I get there, that somebody doesn't arrive. One thing I should have done immediately after getting out of that weedy area is just to check my gears back here and my chain, make sure nothing's jammed in it, because those weeds were so tall, I was guaranteed to get stuff in it, and I do. So I better get this stuff out of here as much as I can. Here's a foxtail right there, and get it cleaned out. I need to get in the habit of making sure I clean this out as soon as I get out of these areas I go into. That way I don't have stuff jammed in there. Coming up to family turkeys, it looks like. They're all going to take off into the orchard. Yeah, there they go. So it is starting to rain on me a little bit here. It's just a very, very light sprinkle currently. But I'm going to probably make haste and get home as soon as I can before the rain picks up, if it does. I am coming around the corner to the spot that I will be exiting from here. So I'm going to be a little bit quieter here coming up to it, just so I can listen. And I'll be looking for cars up here, cars and people, see if anybody's up here. It It looks to me like it's clear, so nobody's up here. Good. Yeah, nobody here. Good. This is the road where that white truck was, the private property road that I came up. I'm actually not going to take that road again today. I was just curious what was down that way, and I didn't even realize that it was going to be running into a private property road, honestly. Because when I look it up on like Google Earth, you know, I see the top-down view. It looks like it's a road that connects to another road. That's how I saw it. So that's what I was ready to explain to the person yesterday. If they ask anything, I'd be like, oh, I thought this road just connected through. You know, but when I looked at it, it's a paved road. It didn't look like it was anything that I shouldn't be on. So, whatever, no big deal. But my path that I'm going down today is the main road right here. Luckily, I'm only a couple more miles away from home, but the rain is starting to really pick up now. So it's still not like raining super hard, but it is raining harder than it was. So, all right, I better keep going because I don't want to get caught in a rainstorm. Well, that was exciting, but I made it home, so here it is, and it's raining pretty decently now. So I guess what I got out of this is I should have left a little bit sooner yesterday, and I should have left a little bit sooner today as well. That way I could have avoided the rain. But oh well, that was a really fun trip though. I really enjoyed it, and if you did watch this, you know, thank you for joining me. I plan on doing a lot more stealth camping trips. Might even do some other, like, just, you know, general biking, going out there and just riding and kind of stuff like that. I don't know. I'm not totally sure yet, but I plan on doing more videos, that's for sure. All right, see ya.